There was a time in TF2's history where the game would have a thing which they used to call updates. It's true, it's not an urban myth, and the period of time I always look back on most fondly is when the original class updates were coming out. Imagine a single update just casually containing two of the greatest TF2 maps that ever existed, along with an entirely new way to play a class. Now, some of these updates were accompanied by the much loved Meet the Team videos, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Interestingly, 4 of the 9 videos were released before TF2 itself, and then in 2008 we got 2 more, 3 if you include Meet the Sandwich, and it's only then that the last 3 Meet the Team videos became much more closely tied to a corresponding class update. It's crazy to look back and see how lucky we have been and how much content there was, but at the same time it is a little bit sad to see how that content has dwindled. Anyway, we all have our favourite TF2 class, we all have our favourite TF2 voice lines, and we all have our favourite TF2 Meet the Team video. These animated shorts filled with humour, charm and cinematic finesse are masterpieces that should be held up on a pedestal and never judged. That being said, I'm now going to go through and judge them all. I'm going to rank each Meet the Team video from the least best to the bestest best, because I love them all, don't get me wrong, but I thought this would be a lot of fun, and honestly, it's another great excuse to go ahead and watch them all again. Now, this list is of course based on my opinion, however, fortunately all my opinions are correct and factually accurate. Feel free to share your incorrect opinions in the comments below, and I'll happily explain why they're so wrong. I will be ranking each video on the following criteria. Story. Is there a story arc? And do we learn much about the character? Animation. Does it look cool? Is there lots of juicy visual detail? Humour. How many of the lamals do we do? And finally, voice lines. How many memorable quotes are there? Number 9. Scout.
Yo, what's up?
I think this is generally one of the community's least favourite Meet the Team videos. It's difficult to explain why, because it's just still so good. Perhaps it lacks some of the character depth or laugh out loud moments that we see in the other ones. I'm not sure, but at number 9 for me is Meet the Scout. Next up is Heavy.
I am Heavy Weapons Guy.
The majority of the video is just the Heavy having an intimate moment with his minigun, and it's beautiful. The whole video exudes character and has some really perfect voice lines in there too. Number 7, the Demoman.
What makes me a good demo man?
I think some of you guys may disagree with this one, but in 7th place for me is the Demoman. He has by far the most memorable opening line, and again you get such a great sense of his character throughout the video, his passion for explosives and a cheeky drink. But the only reason I guess this is not higher in the list for me is that I suppose a lot of the animations take place on recognisable TF2 maps rather than in uniquely crafted environments. But that being said, I adore this video, especially when the Demoman goes off on a drunk little rant. Number 6, Soldier.
And from that day forward, anytime a bunch of animals are together in one place, it's called a zoo.
Honestly, this earns the 6th place purely because of the gag at the end. It's just so good. The video surprisingly doesn't have that many catchy voice lines like some of the other ones, but I just love the humour throughout, and although whilst on some levels the quality of this is similar to the previous 3 videos we looked at, it's just the ending. It's so good, and that's why for me it's at number 6. Number 5, the Engineer. Now, to me, this video feels suddenly way more polished than the ones we've just looked at, and although this won't necessarily have you rolling on the floor laughing, I just love the animations and the aesthetic and some of the subtle touches. It's just such a cool video. The Engineer's so chilled, having a swig of beer and demolishing anyone who comes close. And of course, it has some really juicy voice lines too, and that's why for me, it's got to be at number 5. Number 4, Sniper.
Headshot.
This is where things really step up a notch. I absolutely adore this video. It's packed with unforgettable voice lines, humour and beautiful animation. There are so many beautiful details, and honestly, the fact that this is at number 4 just goes to show the extremely high standard that these videos reach. The music also plays an important part in these videos, and this one has a perfectly fitting soundtrack that really lifts the video to another level. Number 3, Spy.
Gentlemen?
I think this is probably a favourite for many of us. Such a great video with so much depth and so many twists and turns, character development, loads of humour, as well as some intense action scenes. This could equally be higher in the list, but the further you go on, it just becomes more and more difficult to actually put these videos in any order. I love how the tension slowly rises as the music builds over the Blue Spy's monologue, and then it's brought to such an abrupt and hilarious ending when the soldier cuts him off short.
Obvious. He's the Red Spy.
Not to mention the whole spy and scout's mum thing. Meet the Spy is a beautiful video that you can watch time and time again. Number 2, Pyro.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
I remember before this came out, people were wondering, where are they going to take this? Are they going to reveal the Pyro at long last? Are the rumours true? Is it a woman? Well, for me, they took it in the perfect direction. Instead of a big reveal, they went completely the other way and shrouded the Pyro further into mystery and intrigue. It goes without saying that this video is hilarious from start to finish, from the dark interview scenes at the beginning to the little flying baby cherub versions of each of the classes towards the end. It's a perfect mixture of horror and hilarity, and that's why for me, it goes at number 2. Number 1, of course, the medic.
Let's go practice medicine.
This video has me cracking up every single time I watch it. The comedic timing and the humour throughout is second to none and perfectly paints a picture of this mad scientist who is both on equal parts lovable and terrifying.
Most hearts couldn't withstand this voltage, but I'm fairly certain your heart.
The video then ends with one of the most epic moments as the medic stands atop a pile of corpses, the sun setting behind him, surrounded by doves, behind his beautiful Ubered creation. The voice lines are perfect and it's absolutely packed to the brim with so many awesome details that this Meet the Team video had to be in first place for me. So what do you guys think? Did I get it right? Let me know in the comments below. I actually found a couple of polls that showed that generally speaking, Spy, Medic, Pyro and Sniper are favourites amongst the community, and I have to say it does feel like the quality really steps up after Meet the Scout. Not so much in the writing and humour, but just in terms of the ambition. They suddenly become much longer, have more depth, and more detail. Perhaps they committed more resources into them at this point, but I don't want this to take away from the fact that even those earlier videos are an absolute joy to watch. It just feels like there wasn't as much time invested into them. If we take a look at my ranking alongside when each video was released, I think it's fair to say that they do, loosely speaking, get better over time, but it's by no means a perfect correlation. These videos really make you fall in love with the classes, and I think it's great that Medic's video turned out so well, as it will no doubt have encouraged loads of players to try him out in the game. I also love that there are several permanent in-game changes that were implemented based off these videos, such as the Scout class having a 1 in 100 chance to have a dove fly out of him when he's gibbed, or the scar appearing on the sniper's face after the release of Meet the Spy. Such awesome touches. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Which is your favourite video? Which is your favourite class? Were you around when these updates were coming out? I know there's a lot of negativity in the world of TF2 at the moment, but sometimes it's nice to reminisce and take your mind off things. After all, it is better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. We haven't lost TF2 yet, there's still hope. I just thought that would be a nice quote to end on. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. A special thank you to my patrons who make videos like this possible, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
You listening? Just, oh God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my blood! He punched out all my blood!